So hello and welcome back to Test Drive Thursday. Today we are not looking at the Scania S, we are taking a look at the Scania R Series. So let's get straight into this by taking a look at all of the customization. Okay, so here we are inside the Scania dealer in Manchester. Now, I do have some truck mods installed, so we'll just have to skip past them over to number 5. No, not number 5, where is it? Yeah, number 6. So 6 out of 15, as you can see here, the Scania R normal roof. That's the S. You can see straight away the difference if we compare. You've got that sort of extra sort of grille piece there. Makes the truck look a lot taller. What else can I say? Around the side, you do get one less step, because I'm predicting there's going to be one in there, whereas with this you just don't need it, so you can get straight in. And the door is slightly different, as you can see. It's also this extra piece here, where the cargo space is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Around the back on the R, there is no way to get the Scania lettering like you can on the sort of a larger S. There you go, the S high roof. But pretty much it's the same sort of model. There's some slight differences here and there. If we go into customize, you've got the normal and the high roof. So this one's better for obviously if you're taking more box trailers. But it does look a bit unusual, I have to say, having a sort of smaller front cabin. But again, the larger sort of roof section. You do get a little bit more headroom. In fact, quite a lot more headroom with the normal and with the high roof, sorry. But it is an extra, what, 20... Hang on, let's work this out. 35 grand extra to just have the high roof, so not sure if it'd be worth it. You may as well just go for an S sort of normal roof. In comparison, let's just have a look at that. So that's 140, whereas an S normal roof is 107, which seems a lot better value to me. So the only real reason why you wouldn't go for the S is probably the way the grille looks. So yeah, that's something to consider when this thing loads in. So yeah, those are the two options that we've got. On the chassis, it's exactly the same as the S. All different wheel drive, all the mid-lift, tag lift, short, long, everything that you'd want. Engines, so I'd say mainly it's going to be these 13 litres that are going to be equipped to the R. The S's may have some V8s, but most of the time people are just having the 6-cylinder engines now because they're so economical. Whereas the V8s are a little bit more thirsty, let's say. Onto the transmission, you have to go with these 6 speeds. They're just so quick to change. I don't believe you can actually buy the new Scania in a manual. They're all automatic, so if you're playing this realistically, definitely go for this 6-speed because it's super quick, the automatic gearbox. I'll show you that later. Onto the interior, as we're in the UK this week, we'll go for some UK spec trucks. So you got obviously the mile-an-hour speedo, which is quite, I don't know, it's quite difficult to read actually, all the lettering. I mean, it goes up to 80 miles an hour. Whereas really, you're only going to be taking it up to 60. So they could have spread that out a little bit better to make it easier to read. Because in this setup, you don't actually get a digital speed readout. You have to go up to the exclusive to get that here. Which is a bit odd, if you ask me. But yeah, you also get the smaller infotainment with the standard. And if you're wondering, I do have a mod installed that makes all of the sort of truck black inside, which is very nice. I really do like it. What we got? We got all the wood here, wood trim, which actually doesn't look too bad in this. It sort of makes it a lot darker, which is pretty nice. The seats do look good. You can go for the V8, which does look good against the red. But I might go for the wood today. It's a nice sort of compromise between the two. And you do get the better dials and bigger infotainment system. That does include a sat-nav. This one doesn't. You have to go for an external if you want this one. Onto the colours. Obviously all the standard SES ones. Nothing really too unusual down there. Now, as you saw in the intro, I went for all these plastic parts down the front, which I'm guessing most people will go for in the R. I mean, you see them quite a lot, these workhorse trucks, a bit like this, white with black, very sort of traditional spec, pretty cheap. But if you do want, to, you can obviously put all the painted parts on, which does add quite a bit of price. I mean, let's just have a look. So we're on 161 now, so how much would it be to paint all this? Let's go stock, let's go paint, no lamps, then let's go for the paint. So let's say, and then we got back here as well, so if you want to paint this, and then that, so it's about 10 grand if you want it all painted. It does look so much better in my opinion, but if you're on a budget, and especially if you're buying these trucks for your AI drivers, definitely take plastic, because it obviously won't make any difference to their performance. So that's probably a good move to go. You can also go for this sort of hybrid paint and plastic scheme, but I don't really think it works that well. So you may as well just go for the full paint. Now on the sort of mod front, I do have a few mods installed that change the sort of grille colour. I'll just show you in a sec. SES have added some full lower grille guards down here, which are pretty nice. I do like that one. This one's very heavy duty, so is that one. They all look pretty cool, but I'd rather leave it sort of stock if you ask me. So up here you can change these ribs as they're called. So you got chrome. Now you can add paint, which looks really nice, and then the exclusive black. You can also change the grille colour. So you've got paint, then sort of paint backing, and then chrome on the front. Paint backing with black, or you just got the full black. This is where you can change the Scania logo. And then with the mod also you can paint the grille, which does look really nice with the paint and black scheme. But yeah, lots more customizability. A few more options down there. Pretty standard up here. Just got the main mirrors, usual set of colours, and then I've also got another mod which allows you to put glass back here. As you can see, you've now got a window back there, which does let in quite a bit more light. Interestingly, it's not shown on the interior, which I thought it would be. Bit interesting. But yeah, it's sort of a high gloss if you don't go for the window. But yeah, that's up to you which one you want to go for. What else on the options? We got the frame around here. You can paint that. They've added a few new visors since last week. You've now able to get chrome and also choose the 5 sort of LED lights rather than just 2. The roof lights, I'm guessing not many people are going to go for these in real life on these sort of trucks, especially in the sort of normal roof skies. You've got the roof bars now, which are all really nicely sort of fitted in actually. I like them a lot, but again, it's not really the type of truck for that. You got the beacon on the top. That's the sort of all the lighting back there, and that's pretty much it. for the customization on the exterior. Now on the interior, there was a bug throughout this week, I believe, where you couldn't change the steering wheel past the standard. They all came with this sort of wood effect around the edge, but they've now fixed that. So yeah, it's really nice. We've got all the exclusive, and then the V8, which looks so good. I love that wheel. But so does the standard, to be honest. And that's pretty much it for the customization. So now I'm going to do a time lapse of me building this truck to my spec. Okay then, so here we are, all fully configured. I've went through a R370, as you can see. So the 6-cylinder engine. Now if we get inside, because it is quite loud outside. I mean, it's so quiet inside this cabin. Sound insulation is really good. I mean, just listen to the difference. Now the paint outside, as you can see here, it's gone for like a metallic green. She's really nice. I really like this sort of highlighting metallic flake. It sort of matches these green, or slightly green seats, which I thought would be nice. On the interior, I've gone for the standard dark, I believe. So with my sort of black interior mod that I've got on, you've got all the sort of the dark brush metal on there. The sort of standard sat nav, which I'm so confused. I wish it sort of did something, didn't just display a blank screen. Maybe like a media page, or maybe like a home menu setting, something like that. I've also got the standard dials, the standard wheel, which is still really nice and high quality. I mean, just look at that. It's really, really good. But on the info, as you can see, driving here over from Manchester. I'm currently in Sheffield, well, a quarry near Sheffield. I averaged 45 litres every 100 mile, which is really good. We'll see what we do on the way back. We got this 11-ton digger behind us, so shouldn't be too bad. Also got the pressures, all the sort of water and oil temperatures, cruise control, and then fuel and distance. So this is a 600 litre tank, let's say, and we can do 1,000 miles of range, which I wouldn't say is that accurate. I'd say you probably get around 700, maybe 750. But yeah, it's all really easy to read. It's much easier to read than the exclusive screen, partly because there's a lot less information. Like, you don't have a digital speed, as I said. You've got to use the analog speedo, but other than that, it's pretty much the same in here. I mean, you've got your gear selector up there. As I said, you can't get it in a manual. I also would have tried it out with a manual. All these settings down there, and yeah, it is pretty nice in there. I just noticed you got a reading light as well. Didn't see that. But visibility does actually seem better in the R, but we'll get to that in a bit. So let's start this thing up. Again, you can hardly hear it. I mean, on the outside, but yeah, really quiet. So let's put it in drive. Take the parking brake off. As you can see, it's really easy to sort of see when you've got the parking brake on. Sometimes the sort of light is a bit hidden behind the wheel, but in this it's really visible. And yeah, let's get going. Again, 6-speed automatic, which is so smooth and sort of quick to change. And let's get out of here. Now, it probably will use quite a bit of fuel getting out of the quarry as usual. Probably best if we turn the diff lock on whilst we're here. As you can see by that little green light. And you can turn it on and off at about 1 or 2 miles an hour. But after that, it's sort of stuck on and off. If you see what I mean. So yeah, we should be able to get out easily. I can't remember what sort of wheel drive I had. I think I had the 6x2x4. I think, or maybe it's just a 6x2. I can't quite remember. But yeah, gently out of here. About a third throttle. It just holds it in second gear pretty easily. Now this is usually where, if you had the sort of standard automatic gearbox, it can be a bit of an issue, especially if you got a really heavy trailer and not sort of underpowered for it. But with this gearbox you shouldn't really have that many problems, because it sort of predicts what you need before you actually need it, which is really good. I mean, 20 miles an hour, it's just holding us right there. So full throttle now. I mean, even in the 370, the standard engine, I know it's only 11 tons, but how many quarry runs are you going to do in this 370? Probably not that many. And yeah, we are out of there. So it's probably just stop here and turn the diff lock off. Don't want to be using any extra fuel. It does sometimes do that weird thing, the gearbox. I think it's because of wheel spin. But yeah, we're quickly away. So let's hang it right down here. Now, as I said earlier, this is probably a good sort of starter truck. Now, I did spec it up a bit too probably much for a starter truck. I think I came to about £177,000. But you could easily get this thing down, what was it now? 110s maybe? If you wanted this gearbox, which I'd really recommend, probably saying around 115, and then maybe a few extra options, like maybe a different paint, some painted parts, sort of ties. You're probably looking around 120,000, which may seem like quite a lot for a first truck, but usually your first trucks you do drive for such a long time. Probably the longest you're actually going to keep a truck in this game, so it probably is worth going for it, spending the extra bit of money, those extra few jobs, saving up, because the truck that you get out of it is so good. Alright, come back into Sheffield now. I think they've also changed the indicator sound since the last review of this truck. They do seem a lot louder, which I'm not... Well, that was close. A lot louder, which I'm not a big fan of. They seem a bit too loud for me, especially when the engine is so quiet. It sort of emphasises them, just how loud they are, which I don't like massively. Of course, we see a red light. But yeah, the visibility, you do sit a little bit lower in the R, and where the sort of seat is positioned, you do sit quite high relative to the sort of window frame. The frame does seem very low, so maybe on, I can't really comment on this, but maybe on a long journey your arm might ache stretching down to sort of rest on the window frame there, but I can't obviously comment that because it's not real life. But yeah, the visibility just down and around everywhere is so much better than the S. Such an improvement. So definitely if you're doing sort of city driving and everything, which is this more of what this truck is designed for, it's very good for that. Can't actually see the lights. Where are they? I think I've driven past them. Just flooring it now. But yeah, it's still got plenty of power, this 370. Cheapest engine. I wouldn't actually say there's much difference between the 410 and this. I mean, if you're thinking of getting the 410, you may as well not bother unless you're getting maybe a 450 or something. So I'd say the proper engine options are to go for the 370, the 500, maybe a 620 V8. Or obviously, if you want a sort of a cheaper way into the V8, you can, believe you can get the 520 V8, and then no, maybe it's a 650 V8, and then the 730. Yeah, that's right. 520, 650, 730. Yeah, those are the V8. So unless you're going for the 730 V8, which you probably don't need in this game, it's got so much power. I'd go for a 370, a 500. So 6-cylinder. Then I'd probably move to a 650. Those are the engines I'd go for. No good range in between. Yeah, this 370 is fine. I mean, I'm hardly touching the power, and it's gently getting up to speed. Yeah, we can get on the motorway soon and we'll see that consumption going back down pretty easily. But yeah, 60 mile an hour on here, so if we get up to speed, what are we on now? 50. Still have to use that analog speeder, which is a bit annoying. Does struggle a little bit up these minor hills at this speed, but yeah, speeding up now. It's definitely struggling a little bit up these hills. Go on, here we go. A little bit of a downhill section. And cruise control. So immediately goes into 6th gear. It's super quiet. I mean, we're doing what? 1350 RPMs, which obviously speed limit in Europe on sort of highways and everything is around 50 to 56, so it's a bit higher here in the UK, but just lets you cruise a little bit easier, so I suppose. Actually turning off here onto the M62. Let's use the retarder down here a bit. Retarder is so strong. Here we go. Does need a little bit of an encouragement up these hills. Come on. Should have a little bit of a straight bit coming up, so. And then the cruise back on, so you can see the consumption has gone up quite a bit, probably because we haven't got a proper run in it yet, but it's going back down. It's not doing too bad. Anything under 60 in this game is pretty good for me, I find. In the V8 it's averaging around 70, so on maybe a long journey. I think I was driving the 6-cylinder the other day for a time-lapse. I got that around 55, which wasn't too bad, driving around Scandinavia on some twisty roads. But yeah, it soon settles down. There is quite a lot of angle between the dash and the windscreen, I'm noticing. And I'm still not completely happy about putting the truck in the lane. It may be because I'm sort of used to driving left-hand drive trucks, but it's just something the way the dash is shaped. It's kind of difficult to get it in lane, and it does feel very wide, the cabin, I have to say. It's probably because of all the straight lines. It's very sort of angular, the cabin inside. It does make it feel quite roomy in here though. Even though it's not much difference to the previous gen in size, it does feel a lot bigger inside. And the mirrors are very thin as well, but quite large in their sort of surface area, which is really useful. Oh, thank you. I think we can actually turn in there, but I'm not too sure. Satnav's taking us to the next one. Why is everyone braking? But yeah, it's definitely a smooth truck to drive. It's a very good truck for your first truck. Not too expensive. I mean, if you go mad on the options, obviously it will be, but if you can deal with all the plastic parts and everything, it's not too bad. I mean, it's the only sort of truck in the game, standard, that allows you to pick plastic parts. I can't really recall any others that do. SCS have definitely done a pretty good job on the customization of this. With the mods that I've got, obviously you can paint all the grills and stuff, which is really nice to have. So I'll try and remember to put a link to those in my mod spreadsheet. And the link to the mod spreadsheet is in the description, if you're interested. Turning right here. Yeah, those indicators are a bit annoying. Definitely not going to forget they're on. Alright, how are we going to get out of here? Yeah, that's a bit of a horrible junction. But yeah, the lighting systems wouldn't be like that in real life. You'd have different lights for different lanes to come, so you can actually pull out. So that'd be a nightmare in real life, the traffic there. I'm just going to turn my indicator off so that guy doesn't stop for me. But yeah, so we've averaged, what, 58, which isn't too bad for a short journey like this. Stop and start. Right, where are we dropping off? Around there? How am I going to do this? Now, if it was in left-hand drive, this would be much easier, but obviously I'm not. Just pull forward a bit more. I think I'm in the one really close to the side here. Right, let's just pull forward a bit now. can actually see in that mirror, which is useful. Right, start straightening it up. And there we go. Into neutral. Engine off. And you've got the light switch down there, which is nice. Excellent. So if you have enjoyed that video, please do give me a like, subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.